Hey, well, hell yeah, cuh. I always wanted to star in a game where I can steal like I do in real life.
Excuse me, Shaniqua, but we just got word you're being fired and replaced with an extraction game instead?
Based. If you want to watch this without me talking over the top of it, the link will be in the description. But if you're continuing past this point, I'm going to presume that you want to know what I've got to say on the subject, so for you to stay.
So what if I told you that PlayStation's next biggest live service video game that has already been delayed, rebooted, and lost its leadership now is apparently at the worst possible time imaginable going to be turning into an extraction shooter? Yeah, you heard that right. Apparently, the same genre that's already oversaturated, the same genre that Sony is already currently struggling with, and somehow this is their plan.
I mean, I will just say for just point the video, I'm quite disappointed with the gaming landscape these days. You know, I was always a fan of just single players, me, and not having to be drawn into the online component. But it appears that the general market dictated otherwise, and gaming is, in my opinion, worse off than when prior decades leading up to now. That's just sort of my take on it.
Because Fair Games isn't just another video game, it might be the perfect example of everything that is going wrong with PlayStation's live service strategy. And today, we're breaking down the full story. We're going to be talking about Fair Games, we're going to be talking about PlayStation and Sony's ridiculous commitment to live service video games, which we've talked about before, and how they absolutely refuse to fund most single-player adventures that people are desperately seeking, all in the name of trying to get the next big live service hit. This is Fair Games, and this is going to be anything but fair.
Yeah, depressing to see. I'm going to be not going to be an enjoyable video from my perspective because I dislike that occurred in gaming, but I do enjoy Hypnotic's videos. I'll be reacting to this.
So hit that like button, subscribe button, all that good YouTube algorithm nonsense, and comment down below. Otherwise, your view's not going to count. To be honest with you, that kind of sucks. Let's go all the way back to 2023 to start this video off, because that's when Sony revealed Fair Games. And at the time, Fair Games was marketed with a $sign at the end for the S because of reasons, as part of its massive push into live service video games.
Yeah, I mean, I had no interest in that at all. And at this moment in time, I have actually sold my PlayStation, so I can't play any. I wouldn't be able to play it anyway. But yeah, this is the sort of thing I'm talking about. Just constantly getting presented with games that I don't want to play.
This wasn't random either. This was supposed to be a flagship project from Haven Studios, led by industry veteran Jade Raymond. Now, what was the pitch? Well, it was supposed to be a competitive heist game. Think about Payday, but with a little bit of Sony behind it. And the funny thing is, I said when this game was initially announced that Fair Games was like 8 years too late to the party. Payday had already done what Fair Games was supposedly trying to do, and they did it better, and they did it looking better, right?
Yeah, and I think in some ways, Counter-Strike shows this example that, like, a good game, people will just play that into perpetuity. Trying to replace a game that's already been supported that people want to play is probably not a very clever thing to try and do, really. You should try and create something new and unique that people maybe haven't seen before. I know that's easier said than done, but that is unfortunately the sort of market that gaming is.
Fair Games, all we got was a trailer. We have yet to get any gameplay whatsoever from Fair Games, literally zero. But it was enough for people to make up their minds almost immediately and say, this looks stupid. It's amazing how Sony continues to provide us with trailers for these live service video games that are all extremely questionable, to the point where you look at them and you wonder, who the hell sat down at these board meetings and said, this is what's gonna sell like hotcakes. This is what's gonna make us the money that we need to make up all the losses that we've had so far. This is not gonna be the next Concord. Meanwhile, they release these trailers and what happens? Concord 3, Concord 4, Concordian timeline. Bro, the Concord...
Yep. Fail after fail after fail. And I can't see... well, I would say I can't see it getting any better, but it might potentially get better. I mean, I can't see the future, but they do seem to just be doubling down on trying to find this, like, ace in the hole in regard to this market somehow. I'm going to keep doubling down until they try and find it. I mean, maybe they do and then they strike gold, but a bit exhausting to watch it from the outside perspective, really.
Memes are amazing, right? So this competitive heist game was supposed to be kind of similar to Payday, with teams competing and stealing and overall trying to outsmart each other, and it was supposed to be a fresh take on the entire series, if you can even believe that. But almost immediately things started to go very wrong, because what happens when a game just doesn't feel good to play before it's even finished? Well, reports were coming out that Fair Games just wasn't fun. Not that it needs polish, not that it needs tweaks, but that the game was just basically boring. We're talking super clunky gameplay.
Yeah, game can't be boring and have clunky gameplay. I mean, you might play some old games sometimes with clunky gameplay because the game is still good. But you can't have both of those in a new game in this day and age as well. You're just asking for the death. Not even the greatest graphics fidelity will be able to overcome those two hurdles.
Poor player feedback, identity issues. The game had a lot of problem from internal testing that people were not happy with. And that's a death sentence for a live service video game, especially a live service video game that's trying to provide you with an experience that's about 8 years too late to the party. So if you are late to the party and you're boring, you might as well not even come to the party to begin with. Now, if the core loop isn't addictive in a live service video game, you're not gonna have a video game in a couple of months. You're gonna have a failure that's waiting to happen. That's what happened to Concord. That's what's currently happening to Marathon right now, even though Marathon, as I mentioned, was gonna be carried by the Bungie fans, at least for the first few months, shockingly longer than I thought, so good for them, and I'm glad they're having a great time. But the Concordian...
Yeah, I'm actually quite surprised. I haven't been paying that much attention. I wasn't aware of that, so, you know, if people are having fun on Marathon, that's good to see, to be honest.
Timeline, even though Marathon is not supposed to be in that timeline, ultimately there is a lot of video games that are, and there's no denying that. Things started to escalate from there, right? The studio head Jade Raymond had actually left the company. Yes, the person who was in charge of this studio that's supposed to be making their flagship video game left the company, the founder. Insane.
Yeah, it's never a good sign, really, is it? You know, it's got to be a warning sign of many potential issues, I suppose. I'm not 100% sure why she left, though. Maybe you can let me know in the comments.
The game got delayed because of this, and internal concerns started to grow. And then suddenly, Sony went really quiet. And whenever a publisher goes quiet, you just know something is wrong. Now, here's where things get a little bit crazy. Recent reports are now suggesting that Fair Games is starting to pivot. It's pivoting away from its initial original heist concept. And what is it pivoting to? Ladies and gentlemen, an extraction shooter. I gotta be honest with you, you can let that sink in for a little bit, but when I heard that they are making this into an extraction shooter, I'll be completely 100% transparent with you. The gamer inside of me said, the biggest sigh that you could possibly hear in a room. It was loud. I just sighed for like, I don't even know how long, because my God, how are you continuing to do this? How are you continuing to make the same mistake? But the content creator in me, oh my God, brother, I was dancing to the moon more than in my own intro. It was insane, because if you're gonna take a heist video game that people were making fun of already, and you're gonna turn it into an extraction shooter that people are tired of hearing about, oh man, this is gonna be content gold. And that's if even the game even comes out. But let that sink in for a little bit, right? An extraction shooter, of all things, right? A game that was announced as a stylish heist experience, if you even want to call it stylish, because I think it was ugly as hell, is now chasing one of the most crowded, risky genres in gaming right now. But guess what? It gets worse. The mode reportedly revolves around breaking
I was gonna cut in, but if you said
into
more,
vaults,
then there's more to
grabbing
come.
loot, fighting other players, and extracting safely. That's not just inspired by extraction shooters, that is an extraction shooter. So here's the real question.
Yeah. I mean, I have no interest in either extraction shooters or heist games, or I mean, not in an online capacity anyway. I mean, maybe you might think that I'm just being a bit snobbish, but they don't interest me. Like I don't know. I like being able just to chill out in my own vibe, doing my own thing at my own leisure without being harassed. That's how I enjoy my computer games. So yeah, just
Why is Sony chasing this
completely
trend right
alien to
now?
me.
And why are they doing it with fair games? Like, why are they turning this game into an extraction shooter when they desperately need something different? Well, let's talk about the timing, right? Because timing in gaming is everything. And right now, the live service space is collapsing under its own weight.
Hallelujah, though. Hallelujah. I'm glad to see it happen. You know, I don't want to see people lose jobs, but I don't know. Gaming, it's not like losing jobs in like agriculture or manufacturing. You know, it's a leisure product. We need so many computer games now, especially in a day and age where so many great past computer games we can just download straight onto our machines. And I am rather in favor of physical media rather than downloading everything. But the point still remains that it's gaming reached some sort of bubble, and now it's bursting, and it'll be better for it on the other side of it.
Wait, we have seen games launch and then die within weeks. I covered this in one of my previous videos, talking about how live service video games are a disease. You guys can go click that video. It'll be available in the top right of the screen for this video. Go check that out. But you got games launching and dying within weeks or months. You have massive budgets.
Yeah, that is an interesting point. I mean, back in the day, when other than things like ET and stuff, I suppose, a game wouldn't necessarily just die instantly within a few weeks. But now, because of how the service model of gaming works, it's like very hyper competitive, very short time scale to prove yourself. You need to have some sort of desirable metrics as soon as possible, otherwise you're just going to get shut down, which is a shame, isn't it? I mean, can you imagine if when Crash Bandicoot first came out, if they were just like, oh, not enough people play this game, so poof, shut Crash Bandicoot down. I know it's an absurd comparison, but at least you might be able to like sort of just think that gaming is not better for it being this way, in my opinion, anyway.
That are completely wasted. It almost makes you wonder if any of this is essentially a tax write-off. That's what a lot of people truly believe. And then players' trust, well, that's already completely eroded. That's gone, right? Like, player trust is gone, and it's not coming back any.
Yeah, it isn't, to be fair. And I'll leave the Hypno's video here for now anyway. If you want to check out the rest of what he has to say, I'll put the link in the description. You can help, because he's completely right, though. People have lost interest, me as well. And seeing as content of the video is mainly about online games, I'll let you check it out on his channel. See you in my next video as well, hopefully. Toodaloo.